Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're gonna go from this to this. This is my holiday party, holiday glam makeup look. We've got some red, we've got some gold shimmer, we've got a full glam base, and we are ready for the festivities. So I hope you guys are excited to watch this video. Let's get right into it. It's not even that cold here yet, and my skin is already starting to get little dry patches. So we're on hydration patrol around here. I put some oil on my skin this morning, and it's definitely still on there. I don't know. I don't think I'll do any other skin prep just because I think if I add any moisturizer or anything on top of that, it's just gonna be too much. So we'll just go right in with some foundation. I've been using this Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear foundation like every day for months, but I noticed the last time I put it on that it almost looked a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna try this one today. This is the Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Matte Foundation. Matte foundation on my like sort of dry skin is not ideal, but I think the color might work a little bit better, so I'm just gonna give it a go. I also love the way that this top looks with the sleeves like down off the shoulders, but I know that's gonna drive me crazy while I'm doing my makeup, so I'm just gonna pull them up a little bit. And let's go ahead and try out this foundation. I'm gonna do kind of a glittery eye, so maybe it would have been better to start with my eyes, but we're here, so maybe we can skip concealer and go straight to the eyes after this. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Looking a little bit dry, but it's fine. That oil underneath is gonna mix with it and just, yeah, it'll be fine. Do you guys have Christmas parties that you go to every year? Is that why you're here watching this video? Trying to get some makeup inspo for your holiday party. I usually have only 1 or 2 parties a year that I would wear this type of like holiday makeup for, but I get so excited to do it because it's just really my favorite type of glam, you know? It's like on the way to a full glam look, it's sparkly, it's shimmery, it's all of the things that I love. Okay, that went on so much better on my forehead than on my cheeks, but I've been using a lot of like acne clearing products down here, so my skin is definitely drier in this area, but yeah, it looks good on my forehead. How's the color match? It's so hard for me to tell because I just have this tiny little magnified mirror here. I can usually only spot the issues with my foundation color when I'm watching my videos back, so we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll switch to this one for the next little while until my skin gets absolutely too dry to use it. And then let's do eyes because we might get a little bit of fallout, and if I do the concealer after I do my eyeshadow, then I can clean that up a little bit if I have to. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of eyeshadow primer. Okay, so for eyes, I feel like the holiday season is all about glitter and sparkle for me. I typically gravitate towards gold sparkle for like Christmas or party looks, and then silver sparkle for New Year's Eve. So we're not gonna sway from that this year. That's just the way it goes in my head. But I'm gonna do, I think, a little bit of a softer eye look than I typically go for. I don't know, I've just been liking the softer eyeshadow looks lately. So what I'm gonna do first is just reach into this Natasha Denona bronze palette that I have here and just use like a really warm kind of peachy transition type shade all over my lid. Just gonna pat that on and then blend it. Oh, it's so orange. I make this mistake, I feel like every year I film this video, I reach for this palette thinking it's gonna be like gold vibes, and then it just ends up looking so orange. Okay, it's already on there, so let's just keep going with that. Like it's literally like pumpkin orange. Okay. I'm gonna take it off. It's not what I had in mind, and I feel like we are at a place where I can take this off without ruining the rest of my base, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. The color that I really want to use is in my makeup kit. Put one of my personal palettes in there because I was doing some Taylor Swift concert makeup last week, and so I wanted to have some more fun, like colorful palettes than I usually carry around with me. And the color that I want to use is in there, but I'm so lazy to get it out. Ugh, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for you guys. Okay, this is the ABH Emrezi palette. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. And I'm going to use a little bit of OG and a little bit of Nuyaka. I just mix them together. They're literally like almost identical colors. I think it's crazy that they're both in this palette. Like, what a waste. But anyways, let's do that again. Okay, this is more the vibe that I was going for. See, it's still warm because I want that warmth for my base, but it's not quite as orange, like pumpkin orange. Yeah, so last week I had 5 clients who were going to the Taylor Swift concert. Taylor just did her Toronto run. She did 6 shows here, and it was so impossible to get tickets, like really just very unfortunate. And I don't know, it was kind of frustrating in a way because all 5 of the clients were from out of town, like not from Toronto. 2 of them were from the south somewhere. I can't remember. Somewhere down south in the States. One of them was from Thunder Bay, which, okay, fine, you're from Ontario and like Canada at least. And then 2 of them were from DC. 2 of them had already seen a Taylor Swift show in like another city. I think like San Francisco or something they had been to. And I don't know, like I was grateful to have work. Like I made a lot of money last week doing makeup during a time of the year where it's really usually not busy for me at all. So that was great, but it was kind of hard to, I don't know, just do makeup for these people who, you know, like you're not from here. And like she did a whole massive US tour and there's so few dates in Canada and so many people in Toronto couldn't even get tickets to their own like local show, and especially people who are seeing the show more than once, it's just like I don't know, it was kind of like a hard pill to swallow. I'm not a huge Swiftie, but I love Taylor Swift, and obviously like it would have been so amazing to go to the Eras tour, and yeah, I don't know, it kind of sucked. It's also like kind of hard to watch all of these influencers, like so many influencers that I follow also went to multiple shows. One of my favorite Toronto influencers went to 2 of the Toronto shows with brands, and I don't know, it was like hard to watch her vlog because it's like, I don't know, it's not fair. It's not fair. But yeah, at least I got to be a part of the shows in a way, and I got to be like downtown doing makeup and like experiencing the whole vibe of the show and everything. So, you know, it was all right. I obviously would have much rather had tickets myself, but anyways. So it's pretty much all I'm gonna do in terms of like matte eyeshadows. I'm gonna go in now with my glitter. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita palette, and in the corner here is the pop shade. You can see that gold shimmery shade in the bottom corner there. This is the most gorgeous golden sparkle shade. So I'm just gonna rub my finger in there and apply that all over my lid and just make it sparkle. These pop shades, they don't show up very well on camera, and they're honestly not even that special in like regular daylight, but as soon as you get into a low lighting situation, these shimmers are some of the most beautiful out of any of the glittery eyeshadows that I've ever tried. Still to this day, these Charlotte Tilbury pop shades. I really want to try the new shimmery ones from Patrick Ta. He really sold them to me. Talking about like the level of research that went into the production, and yeah, I don't know, I want to see what they're all about because it's so hard to see on camera. Like people are swatching them and using them in videos and on Instagram and stuff, but it's so hard to know like what the sparkle actually looks like in real life because it's just so hard to translate on camera. I tried to get one of the little shimmery duos in the Sephora sale, but they were all sold out, so we'll have to try again when they come back in stock. Okay, so I did definitely get a little shimmer under my eyes, so I'm just gonna wipe that up. And then of course for a holiday look, we need a wing liner. I've been using a lot of brown liner recently, but I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline gel liner in black for this look, because I feel like that extra bit of darkness and depth is gonna help amplify the glam a little bit here. And I'm gonna bring that liner all the way into the inner corner for that true cat eye effect. Guys, what can be done about the ticket situation? Because yeah, it just feels like concerts are like becoming an elite thing, like something that only really wealthy people can afford to do, because scalpers are getting their hands on all the tickets that come out and selling them for just insane prices on the secondary market, and like only rich people can go to concerts now, or like influencers who are getting invited by brands. Going to concerts is like one of my favorite things in the world to do. It's something I've been doing since I was like 15 years old. I have such a love for live music. It's something that me and Will really bonded over in the early years of our relationship as well. And now it just feels like you can't get tickets to anything that you really want to go to unless you're spending literally thousands of dollars, which like not everybody can afford to do that for show after show after show, you know? So what can be done? How can we bring music back to the people? Because yeah, like I say, like it's kind of like a hard pill to swallow having these like clients come from out of town to go to the Eras tour and stuff, but obviously if I had the money, like I would do the same. If I couldn't get tickets to like my local show in the States and I could get tickets to the Canadian show, like I would go if I could afford it, you know? And like same with the influencers going to multiple shows because they're being invited by brands. Like obviously you're going to say yes to that, but I don't know, how can the rest of us go to concerts? I really want to know. What can be done here? Liner is on. I'm going to throw on a quick coat of mascara. And then, of course, because this is more of a glam look, we're going to go in with a pair of lashes. I just have this pair of like little 3/4 length lashes that I'm going to throw on. They've been sitting next to my bathroom sink for who knows how long. So I'm just going to pull all the glue off the band from the last time I wore them. Something I would recommend doing if you guys are re-wearing your lashes, just pull off any of the excess glue that you can get off, because I mean germ-wise that can't be very good, but also like it just doesn't look good. Like you can see all of that like gooey dried up glue on the lash line when you get them stuck on there and you've got all that glue like built up from your previous wears. So I'm gonna go ahead now with a little bit of concealer. So I'm gonna mix this Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer and the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin concealer. This Sephora one, I don't really like to use underneath my eyes. It creases really badly, and I don't typically have a lot of issues with concealer settling into the little lines, like the expression lines around my eyes. Like I very rarely ever experience that, but it happens really bad with this one, so I don't really like using it around my eyes too much. But I feel like it's a good color to conceal on my face currently. And then this is just a little bit, I feel like, too light to go straight in under the eyes, so I'm gonna add a little bit of this mostly here, and then mix in a little bit of this Surreal Skin under there to kind of help it along and lighten it up a bit. Blend that all in with my sponge. My skin had a really, really bad breakout for a few months there, and I do have quite a bit of pigmentation left over from that breakout. Thankfully, for the most part, I feel like I can safely say it's cleared up. I do still have a few like active pimples, but like nothing compared to what was happening before. I think we're just back to my regular like few pimples here or there, especially around my time of the month type acne. Hopefully. I mean, it's only been like a month or maybe even less since my skin was really, really bad, but Oh, luckily it's gotten so much better. And the crazy thing is, I feel like I haven't even really changed anything. Like, what did I do differently? What is different now compared to last month and the month before? I can't think of anything. I would say my stress levels are relatively the same. I'm eating worse, if anything, because I've been sick. I'm exercising a lot less also because I've been sick. Maybe that has something to do with it, like the sweat on my skin. Wait, I wonder if that's what it is. Once I start getting back into the gym regularly, I'm gonna pay attention to whether or not that affects my acne. Oh, I love concealer. What a difference. I am gonna set that with a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. I feel like that is my most said sentence on my channel to date. I don't want to use powder all over my face just because I did use that more matte foundation and I don't want to have things feeling too dry, but I am gonna just set a little bit through my T-zone as well. And then before we go in with a little bit of bronzer, I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contour, something that I usually only do for special events just because it's just that extra step that I don't need to do in my day-to-day. But I finally finished my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand, and I had this Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Contour Duo just like sitting in my backups waiting for me to break into it for months and months and months, but I just didn't want to open it until I had finished my Charlotte Tilbury one because cream products, like, they just go bad so much more quickly once you open them and start using them. So I figured use up what I already had before I cracked into this new one. And you can see I've used it a couple of times already. The formula and the color are great. I've really been enjoying them so far. I'll show you actually. Why don't we talk and apply at the same time? I've experimented a little bit with the highlight in here and I don't love it so far. I don't love the way that it blends over top of my foundation and my powder on my face. I feel like it might be better as like a day-to-day highlight on days where I'm just wearing like tinted moisturizer or even like no makeup, but I want to have a little bit of extra glow, to just like rub my finger in there and then rub it onto the high points of my face. I haven't tried that yet, but I feel like that's more of like the situational use for this highlight. It just, yeah, hasn't been great for me so far in terms of using it for these more glam looks. That's when I'm reaching for this palette usually, is I'm not doing a cream contour on a day-to-day basis, so it's usually with like the more, yeah, just like glam looks. So I have to remember to pull it out and try out the highlight on just like a regular day. But yeah, you can see the contour color is really nice. It's not super gray, like I don't look dead, but it's really got that nice cool tone feel to it. Blends out so nicely. I really like it. I feel like I was talking a lot while I was doing that and I wasn't really paying attention to where I was placing that, so I'm just gonna use my sponge to kind of clean up the edges a bit. It's the thing about filming and doing my makeup at the same time is that I'm like talking and not fully focusing on either what I'm saying or what I'm doing on my face, and sometimes it leads to me like doing some funky shit with my makeup or like having some weird things come out of my mouth. Okay, and now that we've got that nice contoured base down, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a warmer toned bronzer. So this is Hoola, and I'm gonna use that to just warm my skin up a bit. So fair these days that a little bit of this bronzer goes a long way. So I keep the bronzer a little bit higher on my cheek compared to the contour. On my forehead, I just kind of layer them because I feel like the contour gives the depth and then the bronzer the warmth. But on my cheek, I keep the bronzer a little bit higher and the contour a little bit lower, so it's a little bit of a color gradient. And then I'm gonna bring bronzer all down my neck as well, because I'm just so fair. And we're only gonna get paler, guys. It's only November. Okay, so to finish up my eye makeup, I'm gonna go back in with the same colors that I used on the top, the matte shades here, and just run them on my lower lash line. And then I'll hit those lower lashes with a coat of mascara as well. I'm going to fill in my brows really quickly using my Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 3.75. And then I'm going to set them with my Benefit Brow Gel in the same color. I really need to get my brows threaded. But last time I got them done, they were two very different shapes. And brows are always sisters and not twins. But this most recent time I got them done, I feel like they weren't even cousins. So I've just been letting them grow so that we can get them back on the same page. Okay, I'm not sure what blush I want to wear. I know I'm gonna do a red lip because it's like the one time of year where a red lip is just like so easy to wear. And I'm thinking about using this Merit blush that I got. It's in the color Rouge, and I did try it once, and it's very bright and bold. Let me show you. Like looks super red and scary, but it's very sheer, so it goes on really sheer, but I'm just afraid like having this bold of a cheek with also a red lip might be too much, but also like maybe it'll be perfect for Christmas. I don't know, should I try it? Let's just try it. It might be a fail, and then when I do my makeup for like my actual Christmas parties this year, I can try something a little bit more subtle. But why don't we try this Christmassy red blush? Like, it's so pretty. It really gives like I'm cold slash like I'm sunburnt, you know? Like just naturally flushed. I'm very like lit from within and vibrant. And you guys know how much I love the Merit blushes. Like they're just so easy to blend and they look so nice. I'm gonna bring it across my nose. Gonna add to that sunburn effect. Although it's like sunburn slash like I've been out in the cold because it's winter time, you know? Okay, cute, cute. And then a little bit of the Day Glow highlighter, also from Merit, just here on the high points. Especially since I've got that more matte foundation on, it's nice to use a cream highlight to just add a little bit of that wet, moist look back to the skin. I have so many red lipsticks. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use yet, but I am gonna just go ahead and line my lips with Kiss and Tell from Charlotte Tilbury. A little tip for you guys if you're kind of afraid to wear a brighter lipstick like a red. I learned from another makeup artist this summer, actually. I overheard her having a discussion with a client, just talking about lip liner and red lips. I'm the type of person who likes to overdraw my lips, and I do that for a lot of my clients as well. And I find that a lot of times when I do red lipstick for clients that they don't really like it, and we end up wiping it off and putting something else on. And yeah, I heard this other makeup artist talking to a client while I was working. She was working kind of nearby, and she was saying that overdrawing your lips with red can just make them feel too overpowering on your face, and that having that bold color and then also adding that size that you're not necessarily used to can just be like too much for people and make them feel really self-conscious about wearing the lipstick. So that really like struck a chord with me and made me realize like, oh, maybe that's why people don't like the red lips when I do it on them, is because they're not used to wearing like that bright color, and they're also not used to having the extra size that I kind of draw in. So maybe if you're worried about it, just try keeping your lip line to your natural lip line and not overdrawing it all, and it might be a little bit easier and more comfortable for you to wear. It's something that I'm gonna take with me into all my clients in the future. I love working with other MUAs. You learn literally from watching what they do, hearing what they say, the way they interact with their clients. Like, it's just, yeah, I have such a cool job. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this red from Merit. It's kind of more of like a pinky red. Usually I go with either Charlotte Tilbury Red Carpet Red, Charlotte Tilbury Screen Siren, or MAC Ruby Woo. Those are all like true blue based, really Christmassy reds. This one from Merit is so beautiful. Great for like every day if you're going for like that Parisian kind of French girl look, I feel. Or for a special occasion, if you like something that's red with like a little bit of a pink feel, this really has that. Like, it's definitely red, but yeah, it has a little bit of a softer feel because of that little bit of pinkness to it. And personally, for the holidays, I love a matte lip, so I'm not going to put a gloss or anything on top of that. I'm just going to leave it there. And I'll just spray everything down with a little bit of setting spray. And that is my holiday look. How does the red cheek look with the red lip, you guys? I think it looks nice. I think I look like healthy and like I've just been for a run and or something like that. I don't think it's too much, but you guys let me know what you think. Here is the finished holiday makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of my favorite videos of the year to film. This is like one of my favorite styles of makeup. It's just very me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some inspiration from this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That's gonna help more people to see it too. You can subscribe to my channel if you're new so you don't miss what's coming up next. And I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye guys.